Hello, my name's Ian McLaughlin. I'm going to do these videos to help me with my standards check on the 15th of May. I need to try and put these principles, the 17 sort of competencies of the standards check, into my teaching. So I've got a customer, I'll talk about yesterday first. So after I do a cleaning job at Ormiston Visual Academy, and after that I went to Prince William School in Oundle to pick somebody up at 3:30 till 4:30. She'd she'd done a test before and just failed on the roundabouts. At what I understand anyway, that the car on the right was supposed to be a shield, but it didn't work, and she went when a car was coming. So she's test standard. All I need to do is just make sure that everything's okay. So this is somebody that's very sort of independent stage of driving, so very little instructions needed. It's more attitude and approach. So we know they're almost sort of full license holder really. I just need to identify any areas that she could fail on the test. So did the trainer identify the pupil's learning goals and needs? So after sort of talking to her and getting information, the learning goals as we drove out of Prince William School was let's get used to this car, because she had she was driving a Citroen C3 and she has a Hyundai i10. So the Hyundai i10 is probably similar to this Skoda Citigo. So the initial objective was to get used to the car and the controls, and she was doing exceptionally well, driving very safely. Observations and speed on approach, timings of signals was excellent. I said obviously 3 to 4 months after you pass your test are the most riskiest. So the more I get her to do, the safer she's going to be, and the more prepared she's going to be for when she drives on her own. So I got her to drive where she wants really, just get used to the car. So we started driving on the A605 towards Peterborough from Oundle, and then we're going to do some manoeuvres. So we went into Warmington to do a parallel park. She did it very, very well. We drove. She said we should do the Bay Park next. Do you want to do it at Haddon Services, or do you want to do it in Oundle? So she wanted to do it in Oundle. So she went to the dance school and did a Bay Park there, forward, reverse Bay Park. Her ratings are quite low because her driving is a lot better than she thinks. I thought they were excellent, and then we said we would need to pull over on the right, reverse back 2 car lengths and drive on again. She felt very confident about this, so we drove to the village she lives in, Nassington, and did that. And then I said, well, that I haven't seen a dual carriageway driving, but I'm sure it's going to be okay. So try and move the test from May into April. So I felt the learning goals were to get used to the car, and then when she got used to the car, it was just driving at test standard, which she should do in. Was the agreed lesson structure appropriate for the pupil's experience and ability? So I felt that getting used to the car, and then any additional help I could give her was doing that, and then where the practice area is suitable. So she's a good driver, so we went where she wanted to go. So she had the additional responsibility of working out where to go, which makes her safer after she passes her test, which is what I'm interested in. Was the lesson plan adapted when appropriate to help the pupil work towards their learning goals? It didn't need to be adapted because it was so good. So that wasn't needed. Did the trainer ensure the pupil fully understood how responsibility for the risk would be shared? Now, I'm not sure whether I mentioned the dual. Oh, I think I might have mentioned the dual controls. Yeah, because it's a first ever lesson with me. So I mentioned that I'll keep you safe, and I'll give you directions in plenty of time. I might have done that, I'm not sure. Were directions and instructions given to the pupil clear and given in good time? Now that wasn't relevant on this one because I let her drive where she wanted to. So was the trainer aware of the surroundings and the pupil's actions? Yes. It was busy after school, so lots of children coming from school, and she was really, really good on that. Was any verbal or physical intervention by the trainer timely and appropriate? So it was, we're going to what manoeuvre do you want to do next, where do you want to do it. So I put everything in her hands, so she felt she was in control, which makes her a safer driver. So was the teaching style suited to the pupils' learning style and current ability? I felt that she had her learning style was mainly activists are doing learning style. So I did confirm that with her on the phone before I met her, or by WhatsApp message, and then I kept a few times. You learn best by doing it, and she said yes. So I didn't sit and pull her over and start talking about stuff. I said let her just play around and get it. So she seemed to have got it. There wasn't any problems really. Maybe I should have mentioned anything to do with the test that you're not sure of, but I think I might have asked that on the phone or something. Were opportunities and examples used to clarify learning outcomes? So it's a difficult one because we were just basically just going for the test. So there was a cyclist coming, a car was going round that cyclist. She brought her speed down really, really well to give that room. So I thought that was, fine. There wasn't any pupil queries. And then did the trainer maintain an appropriate non-discriminatory manner throughout the lesson? So I think I did. I kept away from touching her or anything like that, because I just imagine there's a glass wall here and I can't cross that unless it's to keep the car safe or to stop damage to the car. So if I have to grab the steering wheel, or if they're putting it into the wrong gear, then I can sort of intervene then. So just a bit of background on what happened. So obviously I was a bit down on early Monday morning. So I spoke to my friend Matthew Jones in Knaresborough, and I've said this on previous videos, but it's just in case you only got on this one. And he said a problem shared is a problem halved. Now, mental health is really important when you're driving. If you don't feel like driving, and you're down or whatever, it's a concern. We might just consider whether it's a really good idea to drive. So it's just to, that helped before. And then my trainer said to me, he said, this particular situation, you're going to imagine you're one of those two people and how happy you'd be. So that's a natural thought to think. Don't suppress it. It's not good or bad. It's just you have a natural thought to think about that. So that helped me stop me getting down. So the 2 lessons in the afternoon, that was on Monday, I was able to take that into account. So I was able to deal with it better. And then as a result, the 2 lessons were better. So mental health is important, and just want to say thank you to both my trainer and Matthew Jones. So that's it with the lesson last night, and I felt that it's a bit of a difficult one because they're test standard. So it's not a good idea. Obviously the standards check is doesn't really relevant, but in a way I can still go through the learning strategies and see if there's anything I could have done, but I don't think there was, because we were getting used to the car.